Hello everyone, welcome to some Pokemon video thing that I am putting on the internet. This is the team with the Vaporeon and Titar and Garchomp and Togekiss and Mapswine and Gliscor, and it's probably not very good because it's lots of weak to water, apart from the only thing I have is Vaporeon to eat those because it's a water absorb. So, that is the team analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very hypothetical and theoretical. And now we're going to have a game against xbubbalubberx again. Because, one another game. And that's what we were doing. And I very quickly realised at the start of this game that my team doesn't deal well with Scizor once it has a Swords Dance. Especially when it's Mega Scizor and it's even harder to take down because it has base 140 defenses and is really hard to kill. And instead of doing the smart thing, which would have been going to Garchomp, Mega Evolving, and Fire Blasting in order to live the +2 Bullet Punch, and then kill him, I just use Vaporeon and I Scald, and I don't get the burn on the first one, and I'm hoping on the second one I'll get it, and please, if I don't, then I lose, but yes, I get it on the second Scald, and well, I kind of dodge a bullet there. That is extremely useful, because otherwise I think I might have been swept, and it wouldn't have been a good game. But, you know, hacks works its way towards me. I stay in here thinking, you know, he can't do anything to me now because he's burned, and then it turns out he's have Roost, which I should have known because he's a Mega Scizor, and that's what they do, and now he's back at a respectable amount of HP, and I'm still a little scared because he can potentially Swords Dance again in my face and hurt me horribly. So, now, being in a position where I know I can take a +4 burned Bullet Punch with my Mega Garchomp, I'm going to go into that, and I am going to Mega Evolve, and he's at the point now where I can kill him with an Earthquake instead of having to risk the Fire Blast missing. And that's what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go, I am a giant shark with scythes! Look, if I were to imagine the Pokemon Grim Reaper, I think Mega Garchomp would be a likely candidate. You stick a Dark Cloak on his back, and he literally just has to use his hands. He doesn't even need to go out and go to the shop where they sell scythes. I don't know, scythe shop, a scythe emporium. He doesn't need to go to the emporium. He has them already, and that is exactly what he will do. But unfortunately, he can't stand up to an Ice Shard. The reason I stay in there is because I thought he may want to go for the Stealth Rock instead of killing me, but he doesn't. He just goes to the Ice Shard, and I managed to now go into Vaporeon, which I know I can live in Earthquake because I'm max defense, max HP, and I do with 12 HP, and then I protect really obviously, and this is the point at which he goes for the no, he goes to the Ice Shard. Okay, right. Now, this is a really stupid set of events because I play dumb, really stupidly here. I switch on my Vaporeon thinking he's going to Earthquake now to try and kill me because he went for the Ice Shard previously thinking that I would switch. But instead, he makes the kind of middle ground play, which is much smarter, goes for the Icicle Spear, gets a crit on my Togekiss with the first one, thankfully only hits 2. If he'd hit 5, I would have lost my Togekiss there, and thankfully I come out of it decently unscathed. I'm at half HP, which isn't the best, but at least I'm still usable somewhat. So I go back to Vaporeon thinking I can take another ice hit, and he goes for the shard that time. Now I'm going to protect, being really dumb, thinking, oh, he hasn't shown Stealth Rock yet, so clearly he doesn't have it, and then now he goes for it, so I'm just being played around here completely like an idiot, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, there is something I could do about it. I could have Scalded on that turn and he would have been gone, but now I have to hope that he doesn't Earthquake and goes for something else. Thankfully, he goes for the Icicle Spear, which, as you can see, is doing nothing. He again gets 2 hits, which is fantastic. I think I could have taken 2 more hits, so maybe 4 maximum there. I would have been able to live and kill him with a Scald, but I do take him out anyway, and Mamoswine is finally gone, having dented my team quite heavily, killing my Garchomp, doing half to my Togekiss, and almost finishing off my Vaporeon, but now it's gone, thankfully. Now in comes the Diggersby, which is going to finish me off with a quick attack. Now I'm not bothered about, that's fine. If he's going to be a choice banded one, that's perfect, because it allows me a free switch into Tyranitar, and I can get up my Stealth Rocks as he switches probably into Gliscor, because Gliscor is his, you know, his physically defensive thing and can take any move that Tyranitar wants to go for, unless I'm running like an Ice Beam variant, which I'm not. I don't have any kind of Boa going on here. This is just standard physical T-Tar, and that is exactly what happens. So now I don't want to stay in because there's the threat of the Earthquake. He could taunt me or whatever. It does not like that would matter because I don't have any non-attacking moves aside from Stealth Rock. But I decide go to Togekiss, take a hit or whatever, take an Earthquake, and actually ends up going for the Toxic, which I thankfully dodge. And that is actually the little bit of luck there is going to play into things coming forward. So goes for the Protect here, probably trying to scout what moves I would do, or if I was, you know, what kind of set I was. does, and it turns out that he makes a nasty misplay there, because it allows me a free roost, get my health all the way back up, and look, it's almost as if I didn't switch into the Mammoth Swine. It's almost as if I just switched in and took Stealth Rock damage, and that was it. But at this point, he is going to go for the Toxic again, and it's not very favourable in my odds, but I try and hit with a Dazzling Gleam, see how much it does, and pretty disappointing, not gonna lie, pretty disappointing. Something in, okay, I can stick it out here and go for a nasty plot, and if he protects, that's great because I get the free +2 special attack. If not, then he, you know, there's nothing else he can really do to me. I don't think he has Ice Fang. He hasn't really shown it. He's running Toxic, Protect, probably maybe Roost and Earthquake. That might be the thing that he's going with. I'm not quite sure, but ends up that I am able to get off the +2, and now a Dazzling Gleam is going to hurt significantly. However, he is still faster than me, and with Protect, he could stall me to a point at which I will just very quickly die. And also, by the way, he has Substitute, which is his final move that he reveals here, and I am just like, no, it's not what I want to be dealing with. Protect Gliscor. I want to just throttle the person who invented it. Jesus Christ. If you know the person who invented Protect Gliscor, please let me know their whereabouts. I'll just pop over to their house and maybe we'll just have a little fun times with a knife. I didn't say that. Nope, nothing. No, you completely misheard me. So, he goes into Trevenant now, thinking that that would be a perfect thing to take down my Togekiss with, because it's specially defensive and I can probably take a Dazzling Gleam. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you know my Togekiss and you've been watching my videos, which you probably shouldn't be doing, because I upload them semi-regularly and I hope you enjoy them, I have Flamethrower on my Togekiss. And that, ladies and gentlemen, with +2, almost kills a Togekiss. Very close. And then he gets a crit with Shadow Claw, which I'm not very appreciative of, but, you know, it happens, and you'll have to deal with consequences every now and again. However, I'm at a point here where either I can choose to Roost as he protects, which is what I decided to do, thinking that he would be running a kind of a combo with Gliscor and Trevenant, where you'd use Toxic and Protect, well, Toxic with Gliscor and then Protect on both of them to kind of stall things out, but ends up instead going for the Horn Leech, which works out poorly for me because the Roost removes my Flying type, making it a neutral hit and actually giving him more HP back in the process. Not that it matters, because I can kill him with a Flamethrower regardless at this point, so that's not a big deal. The only big deal is the fact that, well, I could have saved myself a turn of losing Toxic health, and, you know, just not wasted a turn in general, but I do, so there you go. Do finish it off with a Flamethrower, however, and Togekiss, against all odds, having come in on the Mammoth Swine and almost, you know, been picked off, is able to, you know, do a decent chunk to that team, threaten the Gliscor, kill the Trevenant, and we're all good to go. However, I have noticed that once I get rid of, you know, a few things on his team, Mammoth Swine becomes a big threat. And it is definitely going to be doing a lot of damage against things like Diggersby, but the problem is I don't think I can one-shot it with an Icicle Spear. So what I opt to do is to go into my Gliscor predicting the Earthquake, and then I can go for the knockoff, either getting rid of the choice band that this thing is holding, or getting rid of the item of the Pokemon that switches in. And it just so happens to be the Noivern, which is fantastic, because not only does it take Stealth Rock damage, knockoff, all powered up, is going to do a sterling amount, fantastic chunk, and I also get rid of the choice specs, meaning that this Boom Burst is really not going to hurt that much, honestly. My Gliscor takes it really well. I also go for another knockoff, but at this point I'm thinking, okay, I could stay in here and do this all day and be nice and poison heal, but I think I should go into my T-Tar, take that hit much better, and then threaten the switch-ins with whatever move I have as well, because T-Tar is pretty powerful and it hits very hard, and it also works out nicely because he ends up going for the Draco on that turn, thinking, I guess he was trying to lure me into a full sense of security, first going for the Boom Burst to think that I would live another one, and then obviously revealing Draco here, but thankfully going into the T-Tar proves inevitably useful, and you know, Boom Burst is not going to hurt me. Clearly he's not running Focus Blast. I don't know, man. I've been seeing a lot of people recently putting Boom Burst on their Noivern. I do not understand why people do this. It's useless. It's really a useless move. Normal is not good coverage for Noivern. It doesn't hit anything super effectively because it's normal, and you are much better served with Focus Blast. Yes, Focus Blast may miss every once in a while, but when it hits, it's going to win you games, and it's going to be very useful. So that's that. In comes Diggersby. It actually predicts me to switch and go for the return instead of the Earthquake, probably thinking Gliscor would come in. Works out okay because it gets a crit, but I'm still able to hit it back with a heavy crunch, and we're now at a point where, because he's locked in on the return, I can go into Mamoswine, and his last two, I believe, is this Diggersby and his Gliscor. So Icicle Spear should be able at this point to finish off the match. Icicle Spear, perfect. Like, you know, I have to have Icicle Spear on Mamo because I hate Sub-Protect Gliscor so much that it is a necessity to carry a Pokemon which is able to utterly decimate it. And, you know, Icicle Spear Mamoswine is, in fact, that rare beast. As it does finish off the Gliscor. So, there you go. That is going to be the game. Fantastic. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you also enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like down below. The like button is there for your clicking. If you click it, it turns a nice colour. So, if you're a fan of colours in general, it's probably a good thing to do. Also, follow me on Twitter, because that's a thing I don't shout out enough. Twitter, please. The Twitter must be well served, I must say. And that's going to be it. So I'll see you guys next time in another battle, whenever that may happen to be. I don't know, because I don't know the future. I'm not a TARDIS traveller. Okay? Maybe one day, but not today. Not this day. This day, we fight. And that's it. I'm done. Bye.